Hi, I'm Susan Ashbrook, and you're watching another episode of Equine VIP, because if it's about horses, we cover it. We're interviewing Sheila Varian, the owner and founder of Varian Arabians, a top breeding facility. Now, Sheila's got some great stories to share, so let's go find her and hear what she has to say. So Sheila, this is such a wonderful ranch. Thank you for having us here today. And I wanted to ask you about your beginnings, because I understand that your parents were more than just supportive parents. They were very involved in your career.
They were, but they were not horse people at all.
That's right, I heard that.
When I was 8, I convinced my father that he needed a horse to hunt deer on. And so we got our first big Morgan Percheron 16-hand 4-year-old mare.
That's big.
She was big, but it didn't matter to me. I was getting on. When I was like 13 or 14, we found a mare that had been not well cared for and was a problem. Mm-hmm. And I had seen that filly when she was a yearling, and she was 2, and had run away and had a lot of difficulties. So they were selling her, or they were going to put her down, and I got her.
So you were up for the challenge.
Oh, no problem. I've always said if I could catch it, I could ride it.
Oh, that's...
I had learned about riding on a ranch. Mm-hmm. I knew how to hobble horses, mm-hmm. I knew how to pony, I knew all of that by the time I was 13 or so. Mm-hmm. So I rode her in a hackamore and finished her in a spade bit, and she was unbeaten in Arabian shows in the Western Pleasure Amateur to Ride. Mm-hmm. She was my first mare, Farlotta. And then my next one was the great mare Ronteza. I wanted to work cattle, I wanted a reined cow horse. So my mother and I went looking. We found this 2-year-old filly. Long story short, I schooled her out at Sid's and along the sides of roads, because I didn't have an arena. And I have always said about that little mare is that she took me by the hand. I was the first girl, and she was the first Arab in the Cow Palace Reined Cow Horse $1,000 Championship stake, which was referred to by everyone at that time as winning the world. That was very, very helpful into my going into breeding our own horses, mm-hmm. because then I knew what I didn't know. I couldn't pat myself on the back too hard, because I knew what that little mare was. For me, it's an Arabian.
It's Arabian.
I like Arabians for every reason. I like them because they're beautiful. I like them because they love me. They'll leave their food to come and talk to me. Yeah. When we go somewhere, I've got a pal, a friend.
Yes.
Rather than just something to ride. And that's very important to me.
Being in the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. Oh my gosh, what an amazing honor that is. And can you tell us about your feelings about that and winning that and being honored?
Well, I had no idea what it was, to tell you. I mean, you know, ever since I was a little girl, I was always wanting to be cowgirl, but I didn't know about the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. And a dear friend in Texas put my name in. To my amazement, I was going to be inducted in the first year. I was late that morning getting in to go in and be inducted because we couldn't find out where we were. I walked in and I looked in this auditorium, and there was 1,000 people sitting in there, and I thought, uh-oh. But I had very carefully written a speech. And I had sent it, in fact, to Mike Nichols, my dear friend that's had horses with me forever. That's the movie director?
Yes.
Okay. And he had read it and said, well, fix this and do that.
Not a bad person to edit your speech.
No.
Add.
And so I was inducted and been very, very, very proud of it ever since. Have done quite a few things for the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. The museum is to die for.
Well, thank you so much, Sheila, for your time and being an Equine VIP, because you've been such an amazing ambassador of the Arabian horse. And we look forward to sharing this story with our viewers.
My pleasure.